Hi guys, my name is Reginae Carter and this is my worst date ever story. I used to film this show with this girl and it was like, I think that's her cousin or something. It was at her party and I had my cute sparkly dress on. She had like a dress up type of party that we had to come dressed up and suited and booted. He had on his black suit. He was light skinned, pretty hair. Real cute. You know, he played basketball overseas. I'm sorry if I'm giving too much info. If you see this, I'm sorry, baby. But yeah, he was so cute though. Well, that night, he just kept looking at me and I was looking at him too, you know, because, you know, he was cute, I was cute. So that's how it was like, all right, and I guess he hit up his cousin and he was like, hey, you know, send her my number, let her know I want to talk to her. And I'm like, oh, it's so crazy because I was looking at him and I was gonna ask you who he was. And it so happened that we was kind of talking about the same person. So she sent me his number and then boom, we started texting. So we decided that we wanted to go into a drive-in date. He was wearing like, you know how basketball players dress. He was wearing his little Nike suit, just whatever. And it was real chill. I had on some pants with like an oversized hoodie or something like that. It was just really, listen, we gonna go watch a movie. I'm cute, I don't have to get made up for you. And I decided to drive. Worst decision ever. I have a bad habit of changing cars. I change cars so much, but I think it was like the GLE Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, it was that one. We get in the car and I'm like, okay, you know, put your seatbelt on. And he's like, you ain't gonna kill me, right? You ain't gonna da-da-da-da-da. And I just feel like, bro, what are you talking about? You're jinxing me. Like, so I'm like, okay, no, boy, I've been driving. I ain't never getting to no wreck, no fender benders, nothing. Boom, like, I'm gonna get you there. We gonna watch this movie and it's gonna be it. It was not snowing in Atlanta, but it was ice all on the streets everywhere. But I thought it dried up. I don't know why, but I thought it dried up. So I'm like pulling out my subdivision and I turn and I'm heavy on the gas. Like I drive fast, whatever. So I pull out, I'm like, okay, whatever. I speed off, it's a red light, so I'm kind of like trying to slow down. I've never in my life went through this. The car would not stop. It was not stopping, I was sliding on ice. And I hit the car in front of me. I looked at that dude, I said, like, you jinxed me. Well, I'm not sure what type of car it was. It was like a truck though. It was full of like college students. They were all young, which worked out in my favor because I didn't want the police to get involved. So we all pulled over. First of all, he was like looking at me. He wasn't saying nothing. He was just like what's going on? Like, you told me you could drive, but I'm like, bro, I didn't slid on ice. I don't never do this. Like, I'm thinking that it dried up. Like, what's up? So we go to the side, like, it was like a Crystal's parking lot or something. And I'm like, listen, how much I gotta pay you? I don't want you know, we have a date. I don't want the police coming. This is just nonsense. I pay for whatever you want. I'm calling my manager, my mama. Because those people, you know, they want to call the police on me. They was like, I mean, like, look at my car. Like, I'm like, I know, but I got you. I'm like, listen to me. I did tell them who I am because I'm like, listen, I'm not on no fake stuff, no phony. I'm gonna get you right. So after I told them who I am, they're like, okay, you know, they felt a little comfortable, but they decide like, okay, we'll take the money, we'll hush. I love them. So I paid the people and we get back in the car and I didn't decide to go on a date. We went right back up the street to the house and he left because he was bad luck. And I kept telling him, I'm like, you bad luck. Like, you jinxed me. I've never gotten into any type of fender benders, nothing like that. And then my car was all messed up. I was about to go in the drive-thru with a red car. Nah, he just wasn't for me. And it just wasn't the vibe for the date. Like, the whole date was messed up. So it's like, what car I'm gonna drive here next when you don't live here? I don't think he lives here. So I'm like, dang, we don't have to wait. My biggest lesson that I learned was slow down. I'm Reginae Carter, and that was my worst date ever.
At this point, the second friend comes in. She tells me I look familiar. And she's like trying to figure out where she knows me from. But she, she figured it out. And then after, she's saying she's in like an actor too. She's in a TV show. She's showing me like pictures on set. She's telling me storylines. She's telling me about other characters. And I'm like, I never heard about this show before. And she's like, no, you should already be in tune. Like I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be this and that. Listen, I ain't signed up for this.